Coming and doing that. Next up is John Softclose.
Once again, Commissioners, I stand before you for a copy of customer contract 01-981-0 that the Lee County Commission uses in billing sent to the United States Postal Service for my records, submission to the postal inspector, future Lee County warrants for arrest, etc. This one comes from the heart tonight, gentlemen. It's the 25th anniversary of when incompetence made me and my bride homeless. For 11 months, we were kicked out of our home we held legal title to, paying taxes on, to watch other people living in it. It's starting to get to loggerheads with respect to people who are angry with what's going on. I've had a couple of people tell me that when you come to get their can, they're going to shoot folks who have trespassed. 25 years ago, I put down my M14 to take things to the court. Even winning unanimously in the 2005 Supreme Court doesn't seem to matter. So I beg you, please make me the first test case. Make me the first defendant. I've already proved myself a coward or a follower of Christ or whatever you want to call it, for me to endure it. The wrongdoing has to stop, and I do not want more people harmed as me and my bride were harmed. This may be penance. 25 years ago, I decided not to go after the probate judge and the 3 commissioners who said my 3-bedroom, 2-bath house was worth $59,800, but couldn't find me one to live in. I let them off the hook. This is my penance. The next time, I will not let this off the hook, and I will give judges an opportunity to do right. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it was absolutely refreshing to see the ones who stood up for righteousness and actually allowed people to have their property rights and not have to suffer what me and my bride did 25 years ago. Thank you for your time.
Next is Vicki Reed.
Hi, good evening. I have a couple of questions and a couple of things I'd like to bring back up again. The first one is our voting location in Waverly. And I know I've touched base with my rep, Doug Cannon, and they keep saying, or the new place is now the Waverly local. Because last year when we showed up to vote, there was a sign on the door at the last minute and we had no place to cast our votes. Remember, that affects each one of you because a lot of you, 3 out of the 5 are up for re-election this year. So if there's a precinct that is not open or we don't know where to go vote, we've got a problem. The Waverly local, I was just there having dinner. I live right around the corner from the Waverly local. No one seems to know about us voting at the Waverly local other than Bill English that I'm aware of. So I'm not sure why the restaurant doesn't know and they are kind of in between. The thing is they're open for business on that Tuesday as well. And so my questions are, and I know these 3 minutes are kind of useless because no one answers any questions or acknowledges anything, but are they familiar with how to run a polling location? Do they have all of the procedures in place to run that polling location? Do they have the parking? Do we have everything in place and ready to go? The law says by December 5th or 6th, we're all supposed to be notified by that according to Alabama state law of our new voting precinct. As of yet, we have not. I have not received anything in the mail stating that. On your pamphlets tonight where you're putting out where the voting precincts are, they're only listing Auburn. It's still not voting the Waverly local. So if we're so sure that that's where we're voting, why isn't that listed on any of the paperwork? That's my first question. Second question, rhetorical. We have in the paperwork tonight also that our sheriff, and I like my sheriff, but he's asking that we do a tax increase for all of us local people here to pay $4 more when we go get our tags or we renew our licenses or whatever it is in the brochure there, which comes to about $4. $4 isn't a lot at the end of the day, but here's the thing. It comes through on this paperwork. How many voters were notified of that? How many people were told that you guys are going to be placed, or this is coming up for a vote with you all to go then to our legislators, and we've got a lot of those people here tonight too. that are going to be aware that we, in fact, are going to be taxed more money. $12 million budget's a big budget. I'd say live within your budget, kind of like the rest of us have to do every day, and figure it out somewhere else. It's not right to constantly keep coming to us taxpayers and just keep jabbing us for more money and not tell anybody. It's a cowardly way of doing business. If you want to know what people think, you come to the people that vote for you and let them vote on that tax increase if that's what's going to need to be done. Thank you for your time.
Next is Lance Farrell.
Good evening, Commission. This morning, about 10:30, 10:45 a.m., the consent agenda packets, or the packet for this tonight's agenda, came out. Normally we get that on Thursday, maybe Friday. I know we had Thanksgiving, but this is only giving the people that actually read, research, and develop an idea of what's going to be taking place 5, 6, maybe 7 hours of due diligence. It's a very low amount of time, short amount of time for us to actually do a proper understanding of what's taking place. For instance, the $4 per vehicle registration transfer. That's one thing I want to talk to you guys about. I request that you postpone any voting you would have of any of the agenda tonight so that we, the people, could have the time and effort and energies to contact you about the things that are on this agenda. That's number one. Number two, in August, I requested I guess the word you guys use is delinquent property owners that are not paying the fraudulent property or trash bill. I requested that. It's about 6,818, I think it was. It's 6,000 plus. And then I heard and I saw that you guys were going to contact the Attorney General about that. What is the Attorney General's decision on giving that public information to the public? Will you let people know who those people are that are delinquent in your words?
It's your 3 minutes.
I know it's my 3 minutes, Bill. It's a frustrating moment for me.
I hope he never gets in the public office.
Idiots will put him back in office just like they did in the 25s.
Commissioner Langley, will you find this out for the people? You're my commissioner, and you're the one I'm going to have to go to.
I think we said we would, sorry, I think we said we would wait on the Attorney General's opinion, and right now I haven't heard.
Okay,
So
you'll let the people know when that opinion does come back, though?
I'm sure we will, once we hear something.
Excellent, I appreciate that, thank you.
Virginia Graham.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm here again, once again. What is really going on? Can somebody tell me about the $32,000 of the ARP money that was supposed to be for small businesses and churches? And I was promised that they would get back with me, but I haven't heard anything as of yet. I have a small business, but I'm not requesting anything for myself, but I'm requesting for the church. And that money was supposed to be for the church. I know that the highways and things need fixing, true enough, because they are bad. But can anybody tell me anything?
So I think that I have talked with you several times. The commission has got to decide how they want to spend part of that money. And that has not been decided yet in order for us to be able to give you any kind of response. So that's where we are at this point. The ARPA money has been approved bill by bill, and it has to be all allocated by the end of the year, next year. So I would think we would know something by the end of this year.
Because I know when, I talked with John before of his passing, and he had spoke with me about some things. Richard at that time was not here. So in between that time, when John passed and now, nobody seems to know but what happened. So you said I'll be hearing something soon.
We would have to allocate the funds by the end of December 24. So all of it has got to be allocated by then.
Okay, thank you.
If you would please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance, remain standing.